Run It Back Nation, what is good? It is your boy DJ Eastwood, Run It Back Philly, no frauds, no fanboys, no intros. Algo Gang, do your thing. Us content creators giving you free content. You might have to watch an ad once in a while, but all we ask is that you hit the like button to show your appreciation for the constant free content. Give me 500 likes on the video. Put something in the comments, doesn't matter what it is, your favorite emoji, anything. Hit the subscribe button. 30% of people that watch these videos are not subscribed. That's fraudulent behavior. This is the No Fraud Zone. And hit the notification bell. If your notifications aren't working, turn them off, turn them back on, because YouTube notifications are weird. All right, let's get down to business, man. Anthony Melton has been absolutely fan-freaking-tastic for the 76ers this season so far. And when we made the trade, it was obvious. It was obvious that was going to happen because we lacked a player like this. We lacked an actual combo guard off the bench who can also play defense for a long time. So it just made perfect sense that Anthony Melton's going to fit in to a certain role. Slow start to the season, took him a couple games to figure out, what really you want that role to be. But he's been great so far. And here's a couple of fun facts about Anthony Melton. Well, first, go to the merch store. Get your Who Won the Trade t-shirt. Link is in the description because the Sixers won the trade. We all know that. Here's some fun facts about Anthony Melton so far this season. Shout out to Sean Bernard, man. Anthony Melton, defensive ranks amongst the NBA to start the year. His steal percentage is 4.5%. That is first in the NBA. His steals overall is second in the NBA. His steals per game is 8th. His defensive box plus minus is second. And his deflections is first. His deflections per game is third. So it's not just what he brings to the offensive side of the ball as far as a combo guard, man. The kid is a 6'2" absolute warrior. His rebounding, his defense, his deflections, everything has brought just grace and beauty to this team. Shout out to Keith Pompey. Anthony Melton leads the NBA in total deflections with 33. He's third in deflections per game at 4.1. Who leads the league in deflections per 36? Former Sixer Isaiah Joe leads the league in deflections per 36 at 8. Melton is fifth at a 6.5. And I wanted to throw this in there because we knew, me, Romp, Greg, RB, a lot of Sixers talking heads on YouTube have said before that Isaiah Joe's not just a shooter, he's shown defensive ability for his size, right? So we always thought he should have had a chance. And I don't want to rant and rave about Isaiah Joe again on this video, but I just wanted to point this out quick. That the only reason Anthony Melton is playing in Philly is because he proved himself valuable in Memphis. If Anthony Melton did not prove himself valuable in Memphis, right now at 24 years old, he would not be playing on the 76ers team because Doc Rivers wouldn't know who he is. Doc Rivers cannot find talent. You have to deliver him already proven talent. So I'm happy that Daryl Morey delivered him an already proven talent, but I'm still pissed off that we cut Isaiah Joe. He goes and wins a game in OKC in overtime, 15 points in 9 minutes, a plus 24, and he leads the league in deflections per 36. So that just proves right there that Doc Rivers cannot find young talent. He doesn't give people an opportunity. And Daryl Morey and the Sixers organization has to go out and find already proven players externally to deliver to Doc Rivers because he can't develop anybody. Just wanted to throw that out there. What would my videos be without a Doc Rivers jab? Shout out to Mr. Crockpot TPL. Anthony Melton, number 1 in the NBA in steal percentage, tied for 4 in the league in steals per 36, 13th best in deflections per 36, plus 3.2, 14.0 net rating with Harden and Maxey. So his performance on the floor, fitting in between Harden and Maxey, has been great. And that's just, we got to see the Sixers work more and continue to find places for him to play. 42.9% from 3 in the last 5 games. So his 3-point percentage is up there. He's helping us out in that regard. He had a huge 3 in the fourth quarter last game against the Wizards from the top of the key. So shout out to Anthony Melton for bringing what I knew and what most people I think knew he could bring to this Philadelphia 76ers team, and I'm happy we have him, and he was definitely worth that late first-round pick that we gave up for him. What was the pick? 13? I guess that's not late. Was it 13? That seems kind of high. Was it 23? I think it was 23. Correct me in the chat. All right, let's move on. Something interesting about the Sixers offense that I've been calling out now for a couple of games, but here's the hard numbers to prove it. Joel Embiid's ISOs are down, and he's rolling by far the most of any big in the entire NBA, not just in the most in his career. And I said last year, people were talking about Joel Embiid needs to learn to roll more on the pick and rolls. If Joel learns to roll, the pick and roll will be unstoppable. And I was like, he doesn't have to learn it. It's not some kind of scientific equation. You just set a screen, and instead of going this way, you go this way. Body positioning, reading the defense, things like that are important, but it's not as complicated as everybody makes it sound. But anyway, this season, we've been, aside from the first couple of games, we've been focusing more on playing a faster pace, running the game from the perimeter, and Joel Embiid just playing center and using his abilities and getting his shots when they fit the offense and not really forcing ISOs and forcing him one-on-one on the block. I think this is great for the team to fit into the modern-day NBA while also continuing to take advantage of Joel Embiid's incredible, rare size, athleticism, and skill set. He's rolling the most of any bigger in the NBA at 6.7 per game. Next closest is 4.2, more than double his last season without Harden, obviously. Who was he going to roll with without James Harden? And his point per possession, 1.15 as the roller, is third best in the NBA among players who roll 2.5 times per game. So clearly, he's rolling more than anybody in the NBA, and he's scoring off of the roll in the top 3 in the NBA. It's a perfect combination. It says Harden is running the show so far, but I just think this is absolutely perfect to take advantage of everything. Play a more modern game, play a faster pace, and also take advantage of Joel Embiid. It's a balance. It's trying to figure all of that out, but, that's what you got to do. Somebody brought up a couple days ago, we said Joel has never had to play second fiddle or play number 2 to anybody, and that's not true. Somebody brought up the Jimmy Butler team in 2019, and I just thought to myself, when we talk about pace and we talk about this team playing a faster pace, and, why did they start the season just trying to force Joel Embiid on the block? I looked back at the 2019 team, and I wondered, playing through Jimmy Butler on the perimeter, did we run a faster pace game? And yes, we did. The 2018 team stats with Jimmy Butler on the team, the 76ers had a 101.6 pace that season. They were 5th in the NBA in total shot percentage, and they had a net rating of plus 2.6. This season, the 76ers have a pace of 95.8 so far, and I didn't look at the first 3 games versus the next 4 because obviously we ran a much slower game to begin the season before Doc Rivers said, "Oh shit, this ain't working. We got to switch this up." So that's misleading that number a little bit, but you want to get right around what that 2018 team was or better at 101.6, 102, 103. As far as pace goes in the NBA, that's what the highest pace, that's what the fastest pace teams are doing in the NBA. And guess what? More pace equals more possessions, equals more shots, equals flat out more points. It's not rocket science. Our pace last season was a 96.2, and, James only played, 2 months with us last season, and we didn't really have time to figure out exactly what we wanted to do with him, Joel, Tyrese Maxey, and all of those things. So that's a little bit misleading too, because the whole beginning of that season was Joel playing with only Tyrese Maxey on the perimeter, and I don't know, we ran the whole thing through Joel Embiid, so the pace was going to be slower. But I like looking at that Jimmy Butler team and what the pace was looking like there, and comparing it to this team now, because I think we can run an even faster pace, get up more shots, score more points through James Harden, while also taking advantage of Joel Embiid's MVP-level skill set. That's all I'm saying there, all right? One more thing here. Well, a couple more things, actually. Stay tuned, man. We're going to talk about the Nets hiring Ime Udoka. We're going to talk about the Nets already trying to trade Ben Simmons. Stay tuned to the end of the video for that. But some interesting things I came across as far as James Harden so far this season. And Joel Embiid on this stat right here. Leaders in the mid-range field goal percentage. Shout out to NBA University. Leaders in the mid-range field goal percentage in the entire NBA so far. James Harden, number 1. Joel Embiid, number 2. Art of the mid-range is back. I know for years, the Mike D'Antoni offense in Houston and people all over the place saying, the mid-range is dead. You either need a layup or a three-pointer. You want to run and gun. It's not true because advanced stats don't don't examine the entire game possession by possession. When it's 96-95 in the fourth quarter with 1 minute and 20 seconds left, it's better to shoot a mid-range wide open than a contested three. You see how analytics can be skewed and misleading? A wide open James Harden mid-range is almost automatic. Obviously, he's a fantastic shooter. He's shooting 62.5% from the mid-range. That's clearly more valuable than chucking up a contested three. Anyway, I like that stat, and it makes me happy that James Harden added that to his game this offseason because it's just making him more and more unstoppable, and it's going to help him continue his dominance as he gets older and slows down. James Harden leads the NBA in ISO percentage this season. Obviously, it's James Harden. That's just going to happen. He's at 34.3%. He ISOs 34.3% of his possessions, but look at the points per possession, So the people that are jumping in my comments every day, I had somebody yesterday say that James Harden's selfish and he hunts assists, and having 17 assists is not a good thing. Do you know what an assist is? That's giving the ball to another player and that player scores. So what are you saying? What do you guys eat for breakfast? What are you smoking? Anyway, Harden, the people that are coming at me saying Harden's a ball hog and he dribbles the air out of the ball and this is not good for the Sixers offense. Look at the points per possession on those ISO plays. Nobody else on this list is even close to a 1.4. Luka Doncic is a 0.98. Are people saying he dribbles too much? Dinwiddie, SGA, Barnes, Morris, Siakam, Edwards, Westbrook. Nobody wants Westbrook ISOing. James Harden ISOs way more than anybody in the NBA, but he's putting up way more points per possession on those ISOs. You gotta love it. And that 34.3% is actually not that high. When his years in Houston, he was over 50, just to put it in perspective. That's all I got on the Sixers today. And now let's cover some fun things and make fun of the Nets some more, because why wouldn't we do that? The Nets plan to hire Ime Udoka as their next head coach per Shams Charania. So the Brooklyn Nets fire Steve Nash because he couldn't figure out how to play Ben Simmons without another non-shooter. He couldn't figure out that Claxton and Simmons on the floor together is a horrendous combination, and they agreed to part ways, which means he got fired. Let's be serious. But they're going to hire Ime Udoka, who was suspended by the Boston Celtics for having consensual sex with an adult female. I just want to say I am absolutely appalled that the Brooklyn Nets would do this. I absolutely cannot believe that they would hire somebody who had adult, consensual sexual relations with a female. That is damaging. That is dangerous. That is not a good precedent being set. Brooklyn, how am I going to explain to my children that a grown man had sex with a grown woman? I'm kidding, obviously. I don't care. I don't care what Ime Udoka did if it was consensual. I know it broke the rules as far as in a company, a manager having sexual relations with an employee. That's, company rules. But let's be serious. He's a grown man. Do whatever the hell you want to do as long as you're not hurting anybody and it's consensual. That brings me to this because Twitter's insane. Look at this. I don't know who Kelly Russo is. Kelsey Russo. And this is not a joke, she's not joking, she wrote a whole article on this. When I saw the news of the Nets planning to hire Ime Udoka as their head coach, my heart sank. Did anybody stop to think about the women in the Celtics and the Nets organizations? It's a slap in the face to all of those women and women everywhere. Are you kidding me? This guy's not a R word. Did you think about the women in the Celtics organization? The one that had consensual sex with him? The one that voluntarily engaged in a sexual relationship with him? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Why are you on Twitter making this guy look like a sexual predator? You're out of your damn mind. Ben Simmons came up in recent trade talks between the Nets and Western Conference teams. The Brooklyn Nets are looking for a shooter by the trade deadline, and they are trying to trade Ben Simmons, and that is fucking hilarious. That is just absolutely hilarious. The problem is that the Brooklyn Nets did not do anything to raise Ben Simmons' trade value at all. You know, the Sixers somehow, someway, Daryl Morey was able to trade Ben Simmons and a couple of bench pieces for James Harden without him playing an entire season. And it was good that he didn't play an entire season because he didn't tank his own trade value as much as he tanked it in Brooklyn. He gets on the floor in Brooklyn, does absolutely nothing for 3 games. Now he sits out with a sore knee twice. The Brooklyn Nets look terrible with him on the floor. The numbers are horrendous. And now the Nets have to try to trade that $110 million they owe to Ben Simmons. They have to try to put that on another team. Good luck. And I just wanted to say I continue to be right about the Minnesota Timberwolves. Trading 5 first-round draft picks to try to play 2 centers at the same time is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my entire life, and it's affecting their entire offense. Anthony Edwards has 0 dunks this season, and Anthony Edwards is quoted. This is a real quote. Everybody's in the paint. I'm only 6'4", 6'5". I can't just jump over everybody, man. I ain't as tall as Giannis. Everybody be asking me to dunk the ball like it's all peaches and cream. I got to get a good lane to dunk the ball. You got players complaining that they don't have lanes to the basket because you traded 5 first-round draft picks to stuff Rudy Gobert in the middle of the paint. What are you doing? Hey, man. Thanks for tuning in to Run It Back Philly once again. Love you all. Y'all have a good day.